Keeping venomous reptiles is an unforgiving hobby, requiring proper training and lots of experience. One simple mistake can be the difference between life and death. Remember, the most venomous snake in the world is the one that just bit you. There are no venomous snakes with training wheels. Just because you see viperkeeper handle snakes a certain way does not mean you should try it too.
Hey, Viperkeeper here. Just wanted to do a short comment on a few things. Number one topic is my visit to the first annual King Cobra Symposium, sort of sponsored by the King Cobra Conservancy. It was held in Amsterdam a week ago, and I wanted to get this out before I forgot. However, a couple of brief comments before I get into that. First of all, I'd like to thank the couple of dozen people, well, not even that much, about the dozen people that contributed to the purchase of a new 4K camera to be used here in the lair to take images as well as high-def video. The old camera, which is now like 5 or 6 years old, was just dying. It was stopping and starting in the middle of a sequence, etc., etc. Well, only about a dozen of my over 100,000 subscribers and fans stepped up to the plate and donated some money to the cause, because all this is very expensive to keep going and bringing you quality snakes as well as quality video. I'd like to sincerely thank those people. I thanked everybody on the Viperkeeper public figure page. I just wanted to thank them again on the YouTube channel. Your contribution was really, really, you know, a godsend, essentially. Okay, so the King Cobra Conservancy took place a week ago. It was attended by lots of important people in the field. I don't include myself in that, but we had Ron Whitaker. We had lots of his students and postdocs doing research. We had Mike Good from the University of Arizona. We had Mark O'Shea. Just a number of really important people. And, you know, one surprise guest who's the vice president of the King Cobra Conservancy, Nayahana Hast, who's the daughter of Bill Hast, who, you know, is an iconic snake handler and venom producer, scientist, that many of the people around the world really hold near and dear to their hearts. She was there. I got to chat with her, which, you know, was a special significance to me. And, you know, the other people are you know, also important people to visit with and get the latest information on what's going on in the field. Okay, I can't tell you most of the content of the talks because it's unpublished or unfinished work, and that would be just rude to do that. So I will tell you what I can tell you. Just a few tidbits. During the study that Ram was conducting at the Agube Research Center in the Western Ghats in India, who, by the way, would welcome visitors there. You can find Ram in his website online, and you can actually go visit the research station. You know, you'll have to put up with leeches, but as Brian Fry said, which was really sort of hysterical, while he was visiting the research station, he got a leech on his eye, but he says it was totally worth being there. So you can get the significance of visiting Ram in his research station. So some of the basic things that we got from the ongoing research was that the average weight of a king cobra found in India primarily is between 6 and 9 kilograms. Okay, you guys can calculate it and figure it out. It's 2.2 pounds per kilogram. So multiply that by 6 or 9 and you get the average weight of king cobras. Average length was 4 meters. You can figure that out for yourself too. The record weight is 16.5 kilograms. I'll do the math for you. That's about 32 pounds. That is a monster. Neonates, when hatched, almost immediately take to the trees to avoid ground-dwelling predators. They are arboreal 90% of the time. One of the most significant things that came out of some work that's yet unpublished and unfinished is in the next couple of years there's growing evidence that king cobras will be broken up into 4 or 5 species and maybe some subspecies. One name does not fit them all. They show lots of morphological differences as well as DNA differences. So this is an ongoing project where they are doing DNA studies from the 6 or 7 main populations around the world in Asia and doing the science and laying a case to break them up into separate species. Furthermore, I didn't know this, and this is why I go to these, is because you learn so much that isn't published, and it's very cool stuff to know. And this was a drop your socks and grab your rocks sort of moment. It's so significant. They're even wondering if the king cobra should actually be called the king cobra, because it's not at all really related to cobras. The Ophiophagus, which is the genus that they're currently in, their DNA sister clade, if you get all the venomous snakes and you take their DNA and you break them up into a family tree, the sister clade of king cobras is actually the mambas, Dendroaspis. They're not even close to the regular cobras. The genus Hemibungaris is the common ancestor of Dendroaspis and Ophiophagus. So this may be, they even may drop the Ophiophagus genus and put them in an appropriate genus since it's really not a cobra. It may hood, but so do mambas. It's just the size of the hood is different. At any rate, that was just a mind-boggling sort of development. King cobras exhibit some sexual dimorphism between male and female, and depending on whether it's breeding season or not, they will actually sort of change color. Like, let's say for instance, the inland taipan has summer colors and winter colors to take advantage of getting heat, more heat into their body in the winter month by turning dark, and lighter in the summer, being more lighter color reflective, absorbs more UV from sunlight, reflects it. One of the tricks that Ram and his people use to get wild-caught king cobras to feed on rodents, which are easier to get, and the government of India didn't want Ram taking rat snakes out of the wild just to feed the captive king cobras, so he had to get them onto rats. So what he did is he got some roadkill rat snakes and made sort of a rat snake soup out of it and dipped the rats in that, and the king cobras accepted those quite readily. So for king cobra keepers out there, you may considering making a rat snake soup to dip your rats in, although Lori and I agree that's pretty freaking gross, but you have to do what you have to do when you have these guys in captivity. Right there, dude? Huh? No, I spoke to him and he saw me looking at him. So now he's been in his hut all the time, and now he's tongue flicking and sticking his head out thinking there's either a foot to bite or something to eat. Another important thing that they discovered was relocating king cobras. In India, in the Western Ghats where the research station is, the king cobra is revered as a god, and people will not hurt the king cobra, will be very patient until Ram or someone in his group will come and capture the king cobra and relocate it. This is sort of special, not found any other place in the world where king cobras are found. In Thailand it's perhaps the worst, where they will kill the king cobra and eat it, which is totally disgusting. You know, we're hoping that the king cobra gets broken up into these individual genus and species. In this way it will be easier to get them international protection and funding, because if there's individual small species with a very limited range in one area, like for instance the Andaman Islands, which are closer to Thailand but belong to India. There's a population of king cobras on those islands, and if they can designate that as a separate species unto itself, it will get international red list protection and funding for conservation. So this is the hope. There's some great people in Thailand trying to get the message across to the people of Thailand that the king cobra is not a problem at all. It's some of the other venomous snakes that are there that are the problems. For instance, and again, I took a picture of the investigator's slide, but I won't publish it. They polled the number of school students. Which was the snake found in Thailand which caused the most hospital visits and death? And 93% of the schools said it was the king cobra. In actuality, the percent of hospital visits are 0. The king cobra hardly bites anybody in Thailand, doesn't cause any sort of mortality or morbidity that they're aware of. However, the common cobra causes 17% of the hospitalizations. The Malayan pit viper, the landmine that they have there, nearly 38%. And the green pit vipers, and believe me, there are lots of green pit vipers of various origins in Thailand, 28%. So perception doesn't meet reality. The king cobras are no problem at all. It's some of the others that cause the problems. King cobras in the wild eat a variety of snakes, including other venomous snakes. I saw a video of a couple different kings eating common cobras, Indian cobras by any other names, naja naja. Usually they grab them by the head as they slither along and subdue their prey with their venom and just overpower them and eat them down. They also eat kraits, Russell's vipers, the local Malabar pit viper that's found in the Western Ghats. They usually grab those by the head, all those viperids, but Ram and his crew have seen kings take bites from them. However, the kings seem to just shrug those off and go about their business of devouring the snake. So that's pretty much it for the King Cobra Conservancy talks. It was nice to see a lot of the notable peoples, as well as some of my close mates, Brian Fry, Mark O'Shea, Tom Charlton, some people that are on my YouTube channel and my Facebook page that I've never met before. It was great meeting you all, and I very much enjoy your friendship, or mateship as we would say in Europe. A final word about Amsterdam. The Netherlands in general, from what I see, it is just a fantastic, wonderful country. The people are very friendly. It's clean, it's safe, the food is very good, the beer of course is very good. I had a local seasonal beer called Bach beer, that's B-O-K, it was absolutely fantastic. And the vast majority of the population, I don't ever remember encountering anyone who did not speak English very well. A matter of fact, the vast majority of them speak better English than American people. That's only because the school system has long failed to do its basic thing, reading, writing, and arithmetic, as well as, English, because you have to have English if you're going to read and you're going to write properly. No surprise there, but Amsterdam, Netherlands, Holland, whatever you want, is a must-visit country. The people there are fantastic. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to spend a day on Sunday of last week in Houghton, where they have Snake Day, where lots of other friends were going to be. I needed to fly back Sunday morning because Monday morning I needed to be someplace for my regular job. Many of you people on YouTube and Facebook forget that I do have a regular job, and that regular job supports all this, with the exception of the few people that have stepped up to the plate and donated money towards upkeep towards animals, and or buying specific equipment like my new Sony 4K camera, which this video was made. Again, I thank you all for your patronage. I hope to meet you all, as many as I can, as I travel around. Don't be bashful. Come up and say hello. I am far less grumpy in person than I am answering stupid questions in my email. Take care. Enjoy the videos.